Hello!
Hi everyone.
Here we are in the annex at St John's. Wanted to say, firstly, it was so lovely to see so many people last week for Pentecost, both at the praise and prayer in the afternoon where we came together to pray and to worship as a parish, but also in the barbecue. And thank you for everyone who was involved with helping make that happen. It was a lovely time for us to be together as a parish in Cove. The reason we're doing a new video today is that we're now at the next stage of our unification, and we wanted to tell you a little bit more about that.
We thought also it'd be good just to think back, what were the reasons for the unification in the first place? Above all, we felt that it was about the complementary gifts of the Southwood and the St Christopher's congregation coming together so that the whole would be greater than the sum of the parts for mission in Cove Parish. It's the fulfilment of a long-term vision, and as much as anything we feel that we're in a season where God is calling us, despite all of the practical difficulties and the uncertainties of it all, to really love one another in Christ. It's a big challenge because so much is changing, but we feel God is watching us, and it's a great call, an opportunity to love one another and serve one another in some challenging times.
And then over the past 3 months, throughout the parish, we've been having times of feedback, times of reflection and prayer, meeting with people one-to-one, having opportunities to come together and to discuss how we're feeling and what would be the best way forward for us as a parish.
We also acknowledge that God is calling us to a time of change in changing times, and that is a big ask for so many of us. It can leave us feeling unsettled, disorientated. I've felt these things over the last year or two. Gemma has felt them, even just in the last 3 or 4 months of this process. And so we recognise it's a very hard time for so many of us, and a time when perhaps we're called to hold our nerve and just a time of watching and waiting on God to see what He is doing. But it can be, as well as exciting, it can be disorientating. And quite tough for some of us, so we do recognise that, and we've certainly experienced those emotions ourselves too.
And it's okay to feel like that. That's totally normal, and it would be more unusual if we weren't feeling like that, going through the amount of change that we may never see the level of change in terms of kind of pastoral restructure, name rechange, service times change, new clergy, all this happening at one time. That is a lot for us to be going through.
Extraordinary.
Just to say, when we came to look at the PCC last week for the patterns for how we do worship at Christ Church, that was a really important meeting, and thank you so much for praying for us.
Brilliant.
We wanted to find a pattern where all services and all styles would be able to thrive. That's really important for us. But also a pattern that would work for the long term, so we don't keep having change, but something that we can establish now that will take us through into the future. And thirdly, for a pattern that would enable mission and growth. So we're not only thriving with who we are now, but that we have the opportunity to have a pattern of services that allow us to grow, allow us to be effective in mission, and to see more people come into Christ Church, more people coming to us across the parish to see our services grow and people meet Jesus. The PCC also, we discussed the practical concerns of what it would mean for us for a service pattern. We listened to the feedback, and we thought about what would be the best for the future. And after some time of discussion, and we did meet for quite a while and discuss and think about the feedback over the last 3 months, and also where God is leading us and what He's calling us to do and be as a parish in the future. And we made the decision that we are going to change the service patterns to a 9:30 and an 11:15. So a 9:30 contemporary service and an 11:15 more liturgical service. We're going to, Steve,
do you want me to tell you? I'll tell you what. We're not doing another take on this video. We're going to launch the new service pattern, 9:30 and the 11:15 on a Sunday morning at Christ Church on Sunday the 21st of July. So we really hope that you can be there to support one another. Could be actually a good opportunity, like we did when we started the 9 a.m. and the 10:30, for different members of the congregation perhaps to come to both services to encourage one another and just enjoy that good fellowship together. But just as a one-off to go to both services if you were to do that morning. But that's Sunday the 21st of July. But we want to end on a high.
Oh, but we've got one thing to say before that. Just to say that if you are involved in a rota on a Sunday, we'll be in touch with you about the practicalities of that, so you don't need to worry.
Absolutely. And ending on a high, we've got some really great news.
We have.
That the official launch of Christchurch Cove will take place on Sunday the 22nd of September, and we've chosen that date because that's the date when Bishop Andrew is going to be able to come and celebrate that with us, and the big unification service will take place on Sunday the 22nd of September, and that will be at 6:30 in the evening. So put that in your diaries, and what a brilliant celebration we hope that will be, and that you'll all be able to come, not just from Christchurch, but actually maybe right across the parish to just show our fellowship in Christ on that evening when Bishop Andrew joins us.
Yeah, and it's an opportunity for us to show the community about the new things that we're doing here, how we've come together. We know that statistically often people move in the summer because it's a time to kind of get your children into school and that sort of thing. So what we're hoping is that people that move into Cove, that maybe have a faith, will come and join us. It would be wonderful to see them somewhere in our parish, and having the launch gives us a real opportunity to be able to do that. So that's 22nd of September at 6:30 p.m. I think that's probably what we have to say. We will be in touch with some more practicalities about what that means for the service times.
Watch this space. Bye everyone. Have a brilliant week. God bless. Bye everybody. Bye.